Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to talk a little bit about the divisibility rules. Why? That's an excellent question. One of the stations, Station 3, requires you to do a divisibility rule paper that looks much like this, almost exactly like this. And on this, you have to know the divisibility rules for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. I am grading these papers, and so far, not so good. Many people are not doing as well as I think you can, and it is my belief, based on the fact of me watching, when you say you don't get it, you don't have your divisibility rules out. That has happened numerous times. So I thought I would review 3 of them with you today. We have a list of numbers, and we are going to determine whether they're divisible by 2, 3, and 6. Or just 2, or just 3, or just 6, or 2 and 6, and 3 and 6. You're going to find out that last 2 are impossible. So now, if we look, first of all, my suggestion is when you do that, or if you don't like your grade, you redo it, is you look and you do one rule at a time. So I'm going to start with my rule for 2. And I'm going to go all the way through my rule for 2 with each one of those numbers. Now my rule for 2 says if the last digit is even, it's divisible by 2. But what does divisible by 2 mean? Macy, if a number is divisible by 2, what does that mean?
You can divide it into
Equally. Awesome. 2 will go into that number without a remainder. 2 will go into that number without a remainder. So that's what it means to be divisible by 2. Same thing with divisible by 3. Goes in without a remainder. Same thing with 6. Goes in without a remainder. So what I want you to do now, if we look at the divisibility rule for 2, if the last digit is even, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, that number is divisible by 2. So I want you to go through here and put a check on these numbers in the 2 column if they're divisible by 2. If they're divisible by 2. If they're divisible by 2, you put a check. And Macy, when we're all done, you get to give yourself a point for answering that question correctly.
Oh, wow.
Andrew, are there any numbers in that list that are divisible by 2? Okay, can you tell me one? Okay, can you tell me which... Can you give me one number up here that's divisible by 2? 4,518. And why is it divisible by 2, Andrew? Because it's an even number. How do you know it's an even number? Okay, the ones place is even. And we said 8 is even. Thank you, Andrew. When we're done, you'll give yourself a point. Or a camp point. Ari, are there any other numbers up there that are divisible by 2? 102. Why do you think 102 is divisible by 2, Ari?
Because it ends with a 2.
It ends with a 2, which is an even number. 2 is an even number. I'm using team shape, people. So, it ends with an even number.
Why are you just coming out?
Matilda! Are there any others up there that are divisible by 2?
Yes.
Can you tell me which one? 268. And how do you know 268 is divisible by 2?
Because it ends with 8 and 8
Because it ends with 8 and 8 is an even number. Very good. Brady, are there any others up there that are divisible by 2?
Yes, 36.
36. And how do you know it's divisible by 2?
Because one's number is...
Good, because the ones place is even. 6 is an even number. And again, those of you answering questions get to put a camp point up when we're done. Matthew, are there any others up there that are divisible by 2?
70.
70, and how do you know?
Because 0 is an even number.
Because 0 is an even number. The last digit is even. You'll give a camp point when you're done here.
Do I get one?
Oh, see, it's 70. I'm sorry.
7, 7, 7, 7.
No, it really doesn't. All right, Jonas.
I give up.
450. And how do you know? Because the ones place is a 0. So you give yourself a camp point when you're done. When we're done with the video. Noah, are there any other numbers up there that are divisible by 2?
I give up.
Yes.
I'll give up.
Yes.
Which ones? None. Good. Because the only one left is 57. And it does not have an even number in the ones place. No, you'll give yourself a camp point. Let's look at the divisibility rule for 3. Yes, Jacob? We already got 102. Okay, we're not there yet. Let me read the rule. If the sum of the digits is a multiple of 3. That's weird. I don't even know what that means. Well, let's look at the number 51. What are the digits in 51? 5 and 1. So what's the sum of 51, the digits 5 and 1? 6. Is 6 a multiple of 3?
Yes.
Yes. Then 51 is a multiple of 3. All you do is add the digits together, and if the sum of those digits is a multiple of 3, then that number is divisible by 3. So do the 3. If you're watching in Badr, Romania, go ahead and do the 3 as well. Why too late?
Oh, no.
They can be watching it now. Why are you too lating them?
No, because I can't do anything. No, I'm done.
Now you have these rules in your journal if you've done station 3. But if you just glue them in your journal and never refer to them, it is really pointless to even put them in your journal. So if you're not going to use them, don't even glue them in. Take a 0 for not putting them in, because it's just plain silly not to use them when you have taken the time to complete it and put it in there. Heaven, are there any numbers up there that are divisible by 3? Can you give me one? 36. And how do you know 36 is divisible by 3? Because what? You have to add them together. What's 3 plus 6? 9. Is 9 a multiple of 3? 3, 6, 9, 12. So yes, that is why it's divisible by 3. You can give a camp point when we're done. Isabella, are there any other numbers up there divisible by 3? Can you tell me one of them? Say again? 4,518. How do you know? The sum of the digits in 4,518 is 18. Because 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 8 is 18. 18 is a multiple of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So that works. Jonas, I'm team shaking it here, dude. SCN, are there any other numbers up there that are divisible by 3?
Yes.
Can you tell me one?
57.
57. How do you know it's divisible by 3? Good. 7 plus 5 is 12. And 12 is a multiple of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. There it is. Bam, boom, shakalaka. Not peace out. God bless you. Love you. Do something kind today. Come on. We're not there yet. Don't try and rush me, Will. No rushing, Will. Brooklyn. Are there any others up there that are divisible by 3? 102. And how do you know, Brooklyn?
Because 1 plus 2 equals 3 and 3 times 1 equals 3.
Good. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And 3 is a multiple of 3. Therefore, it is divisible by 3. Carlos, are there any others up there divisible by 3s? Can you tell me?
450.
450 is divisible by 3. And how do you know that, Carlos?
There's 4 plus 5 is 9. And 0.
4 plus 5 is 9. 3, 6, 9. So 9 is a multiple of 3. So 450 is divisible by 3. Jacob M. Are there any others up there that are divisible by 3?
No.
Are you sure? Yes, you're right. You can give yourself camp point when we're done. There are none that are divisible by 3. But now we move to our divisibility rule by 6. If it's divisible by both 2 and 3, it's divisible by 6. So if there's a check in the 2 column and the 3 column, there has to be a check in the 6 column.
Okay.
What I saw in some of those papers is people would say, oh, it's divisible by 2, not 3, 6. And I'd be like, no, you didn't read the rule. You can't mark that. Not if you read the rule. You'd never mark that. What are you thinking? Why? So go ahead and mark the ones that are divisible by 6. And remember on that assignment, I mean, you had more than just these 3. So, Cade, are there any of them up there that are divisible by 6?
Yes.
Can you tell me one?
36.
36 is divisible by 6. How do you know?
Because we can divide 6 or 36. 6 can go into 36 equally.
Okay, 6 can go into 36 equally. And it's divisible by 2 and 3. Once we know that, piece of cake. Logan, are there any up there that are divisible by 3?
102.
102. How do you know?
Because 6 is an even number and 102 is an even number. So I was thinking that 6 divided by something equals 102.
What's my rule?
If it's divisible by both 2 and 3.
Is it divisible by both 2 and 3?
Yes.
Yes. Okay? That's the simple rule. Very easy. We need to understand our divisibility rules. Bailey, you have a question? Oh, you're volunteering even though Team Shake can't see your hand? Okay.
I'm sure Team's
Still can't see your hand. Oh, no. Jacob J. Are there any others up there divisible by 6? 450. How do you know, Jacob J? Because it's divisible by both 2 and 3. Mariah, are there any others up there divisible by 6?
450.
450. And how do you know, Mariah?
Because it's divisible by 6 and
By 2 and 3.
2. Sorry.
Good. It's divisible by both 2 and 3. Alyssa, are there any others that are not marked that are divisible by 6? Can you tell me? 4,518 is divisible by 6. Why, Alyssa?
Because it's divisible by 2 and 3.
because it's divisible by 2 and 3. That's not it. Dylan, are there any others up here that are divisible by 6? No, very good. You'll get a camp point added. Camille, why is 268 not divisible by 6?
But it's not divisible by 2 and 3.
Because it's not divisible by 2 and 3, just 2. Will, why is 70 not divisible by 6?
Because 3. Because it's not divisible by 3. It's not divisible.
Good, it's not divisible by 3, just 2. Bailey, why is 57 not divisible by 6? Good, it's not divisible by 2 because it's not an even number. Excellent. There is a reason, Cade, that if it's divisible by 2 and 3, it's also divisible by 6. Can you, Cade? What do you think, Cade? Can you think about that reason might be? It's okay not to know.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, Essien?
Because 3 times 2 is 6.
Because 3 times 2 is 6. Which means any number divisible by 6 is going to have to be divisible by both of these because 3 times 2 is 6. Jonas?
9.
No, the rule for 9, and if you have it in your journal, is very similar to the rule for 3. If you add the digits together, all the digits together, 1 plus 0 plus 2, if they are a multiple of 9, then it's divisible by 9. So 1 plus 0 plus 2 is 3. It's not a multiple of 9. The multiples of 9 are 9, 18, 27, 36, 40, and you just keep counting by 9. And what other questions might we have? Boom, shakalaka, peace out, God bless, love ya. Do something kind today. Subscribe if you haven't.